Hey Aries, thank you for stopping by my channel. This is Seven Waters Tarot. For those of you who are returning, thank you for coming back. And for those of you who are new, thank you for coming to my channel. Welcome, welcome. Today we're going to be doing an energy checkup for the sun sign of Aries. We're going to be checking in and seeing basically, what you're up to, where you're going, where you've been, what you're doing. And we're going to, see what's going on with you guys. So I'm going to get started in the reading. Oh, and before I do, I am using a new tarot deck. It's called the White Sage Tarot. And it's already by far my favorite. When I first saw this, I kind of got this really huge feeling that I should get these cards. And, there's just a weight and a heaviness to it. It's just, I don't know. I feel like this is already spiritually charged. I love these cards. I love the artwork on them. It's very similar to a traditional tarot deck, except for it does tell you about your chakras and if there's any blockages and things like that. So it gives you a little bit more info. But I'm already in love with this deck, but I might have to use my booklet because I'm not completely all familiar with the meanings, although they're similar, but they're a little bit different. And really quickly, I just want to say, if you hear noise, I have noisy neighbors. So I hope you can't hear anything, but if you do, it's just the neighbors. Anyhow, so let's get started. I'm excited to do your reading to see where Aries is at. So let's just get started with the shuffle. And Spirit is, what's going on with Aries? You want to be in the know. What's happening with Aries? What's going on with Aries? Ooh, oh, got a jumper. So it fell from a deck. Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands, okay. What else is going on? What's happening with Aries, Spirit? Oh, gotta turn her over. Oh, here we go. Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, Nine of Wands for Aries. We need two more. Get us started. Okay, another jumper. Let's see. Eight of Cups. Oh, here you go. Eight of Cups. Oh, and we have the Four of Swords. Okay, now that one kind of came out. I wasn't sure if that should be upside down or what, but I'm gonna leave it right side up. Okay, so let's take a look. So the Nine of Wands. Okay. It kind of looks like little cherry blossoms or pussy willows. So for the Nine of Wands, this really indicates, needing to have some courage, kind of going against the grain. So some of you guys could be going up against the grain. This card is basically telling you it's sometimes good not to have to go with the flow, and if something's happening, if something is, out of sorts that you should be, opening up about or standing up for, this card really encourages that, to stand out from the crowd and to do what's right. This is also because of the pink ribbon here. It really is saying to focus on your roots, and to be encouraged to move forward in what needs to take place. So something for you guys, Aries, is in need of standing out from the crowd and just speaking your truth, or putting action to your truth, and kind of reminding you of your roots, and being rooted, and to have courage. Next up, we have the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles really talks about, you know, juggling, of course, you know, even in traditional tarot, juggling, you know, you may have some different things that you need to balance out. You might have some things that you feel like you're juggling, or you're, you know, trying to keep things in balance, and you know, this could be you know, dealing with another person being involved with what you're trying to juggle, or if you're juggling two of the people or juggling two situations. This is the card that is telling you that it's what's happening. And you know, this is the green really, oh, excuse me. You know, the green, you know, as far as chakra goes, this is the heart center. This is to do with the heart chakra. So make sure you have your heart chakra and your root chakra, really pay attention to those. Okay, so next up we have the Eight of Cups for the lovely sign of the fiery Aries. So the Eight of Cups really talks about, ooh, can you see it? Really talks about, sorry, the lighting is a little bit, and this card is kind of a lighter color card. Anyways, this card really talks about, you know, transition and, you know, moving on, you know, and this is a card of like change. So this really talks about, you know, being able to travel and travel light. Moving on, moving to a different spot in your life, or moving on to maybe even a new home or a new apartment, moving away from something that you're juggling, perhaps. You know, standing up for what's right and moving away from what maybe, and we have to kind of get into this card, but what maybe is starting to feel like some kind of conflict. Or maybe just getting out of the way of some type of conflict. And then also, you know, this card also talks about, you know, when things come crashing down, you know, how the cups are stacked here. You know, the way that they're stacked, there is bound to fall over. So something that was constructed, and if it wasn't constructed well, or have a good foundation, it's going to come falling down. And you know, there's going to be some spills. You know, one of the things that, you know, about this card, it says that basically destruction and creation go hand in hand. It almost is very close to, it kind of gives me the feel of like the death card, and things coming to a close, things coming to an end. Or no, maybe even the tower, because yeah, this is like a miniature tower where, you know, when things get destroyed, that inevitably what's going to happen is something's going to be rebuilt. So it's kind of like the death card as well, where something has to end, and then, you know, in that ending, something's going to begin, something new. So, and then we have the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords, it really talks about, like, you know, thinking and contemplating, you know, relaxing, taking care of yourself. You know, with that being said, that, you know, this is the Swords is the element of air, and you know, this also has to do with your thinking, as well as, you know, again, contemplating, and you know, making sure you get enough rest for your mind and your body. And this is just saying, you know, make sure you rest. You have a lot going on, it looks like, Aries, for some of you, where you need to stand up, you know, maybe some juggling going on. This could be with family and, you know, work. This could be two different people for some of you guys. But the way that things are stacked at the moment, it looks like, you know, the way that things are set at this point, that something's going to kind of have to come to an end. Something's going to have to be something's going to basically fall over, something's going to, you know, come to an end, but then also something great will be created as well. But in the midst of all that, making sure you're getting your, you know, your rest, and making sure you're thinking about your strategy, what you want to do, you know, making sure that you rest your body and your mind. And I'm really leaning towards the fact that, you know, with all this going on here, that you definitely need to make sure you have your rest, and you're, you know, you're keeping yourself, you know, in a very positive, you know, meditative, contemplative, you know, frame of mind. You know, and when we look at the Four of Swords, you know, not only is it just, you know, air energy because it's a swords, but it also has to do with, you see the orange here, you know, it has to do also with your sacral chakra. And, you know, that deals with, you know, emotional well-being and, you know, creativity, which is interesting because we have the Eight of Cups, which speaks of things coming to an end, but things also needing to be created. And the Eight of Cups is also water energy, which is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. The swords are air. It's the air sign, of course. It's Aries. I'm sorry. It's Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. And then we have the Pentacles, which is earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And then of course we have some fire. So everybody's represented here on the board. We got fire, we got air, we got Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. You know, we have every single, actually, which is quite interesting, we have every single category on the board for you guys right now, Aries, and that's very interesting. So most of the time you see like one sign or one element dominating the board, but we definitely have some, some of everybody. So let's find out what's going on. Let's get some clarity for the Nine of Wands. What's happening for Aries with the Nine of Wands? Get a little more detail. Clarifying the Nine of Wands. What's going on? They have to stand up for something. Oh, okay. So now we have, ooh, and we have, wow. Okay, powerful stuff, guys. We have strength. And as you see that this is a bear, and it also has the infinity symbol on its back. Okay, so with the strength card, this is basically, you know, talking about courage and doing things for the highest good. So here you have, which is very interesting because you have the stand up for what's right, what's going on, and you have strength to walk in strength and courage. You know, doing things, you know, for the highest good. You know, it's really standing up. Like this is basically just really amplifying the Nine of Wands right now, because this is really about this strength card is really about, you know, standing up for what's right, you know, doing things for the highest good. You know, this is a mama bear, and basically, you know, she's willing to, like, you know, lay it down for her family and her cubs. You know, that's kind of the story of the card. And you know, she's very protective. And so this, you know, the advice from Spirit is, you know, really, you know, exercise your strength and for standing up for what's right. Whatever the situation may be that's calling for you to, you know, to stand up from the crowd and say, hey, this is not, you know, the way it should be, or this is not right. Whatever this is, you know, it's really calling for you to stand up with courage and strength. And it's for the highest good, and you definitely have the attention of the divine because they are standing with you. So okay. All right, so then we have the Two of Pentacles under the Devil. So something, clarified by the Devil. So now this is involving another person and something that you may be juggling, you know, two different polar, maybe some polar opposites. Whatever the situation is clarified by the devil, which is a beautiful green snake, typical with the apple. But so this is really talking about, you know, well, it kind of goes a couple different ways. You know, for some of you guys, I don't know if you're dealing with addictions or just feeling like having a lot of self-doubt, feeling hopeless in this situation with the Two of Pentacles, with this juggling act that you're trying to do, maybe coming to grips that you can't juggle these two things, that you're going to have to just pick one. Or that, you know, one's going to have to, depending on what the situation may be, you know, one is going to have to kind of, you know, sit back on the shelf. I mean, this could be two different ideas, or it could be two different, you know, work versus, you know, entrepreneurism or something along those lines. But there's two things, and with this card in particular, in this deck, it talks about two people. So if you're, you know, juggling with two people, and this doesn't have to be like a third party situation. This could be, you know, your mother versus your wife, or your father versus your husband, or, you know, something along those lines. It doesn't have to always be a third party situation. But being clarified by the devil, it's, you know, this is really talking about, you know, this, some of you guys could be dealing with addictions, or someone you know that's in your energy field dealing with addictions or feeling hopeless. And sometimes, you know, that kind of goes hand in hand too as well with feeling hopeless. A lot of people, you know, that deal with addictions, you know, come from a place of not, you know, feeling hopeless and, you know, having a lot of self-doubt. So therefore they, you know, do things to make themselves feel better, whether that's, you know, it could be drugs and alcohol, that could be shopping addictions. I know a person that doesn't smoke, drink, nothing, but she shops the hell out of stuff. I mean, she has duplicates of like different, the same objects, you know. She's to the point of she's kind of a hoarder, and so so that's her addiction. So it could be, it doesn't have to be, you know, it could be addiction to sex, you know, addiction to just any type of thing that you're overdoing, you know, that you need to step back and take a look at. You know, this also is warning of like getting off your path, your true, you know, divine given, universe given, source giving path. So be careful, whatever that you're juggling here. You know, this is leading to, you know, is making you feel, you know, hopeless, or is leading to a place where you feel hopelessness. But just being careful that you don't get off your path because of, you know, the feelings that you may be getting from, you know, either being juggled or juggling, you know, a situation. And what, you know, of course, with these other cards here, is just kind of showing that you definitely need to like refocus. For Aries, some of you guys need to refocus your attention and, you know, re-strategize, you know, what's happening in your life. You know, and basically just seeing things for what they really are, seeing the truth for what it really is, and then dealing with it accordingly. Okay, so let's find out about the Eight of Cups. What's going on with Aries and the Eight of Cups? Clarity, please, for the Eight of Cups. Okay, so we have the Page of Cups. Okay. What about the Four of Swords? Okay, 2 cards fell out. We'll just take it. Okay, so now we have, ooh, all right. So we have, okay, let's just do it little by little. Okay, so clarifying the Eight of Cups is the Page of Cups. And the Page, I need to go to the page. Okay, so the page here, now this is just a cutie pie picture. Okay, look at that little thing on top of her head. Too cute, and she has teeth just like me. Anyways, so this is basically, you know, speaking of being creative. What's that? We were just talking about this. Okay, you guys, this is super coming together. Are you listening? Please listen. Okay, so So basically, this is talking about, oh, and she has ginger chai in her, and I'm drinking. Oh my goodness. Okay, so basically, this is really talking about your creative side, and you know, this really touched this base, you know, home with the Eight of Cups, which talks about things needed to be destroyed, like the miniature tower, you know, where and you know, the good thing is that you didn't get the, you know, the tower, so it's not this huge major, you know, crash. It's just something that, you know, needs to be changed and, you know, restructured. You know, something that needs to be taken from the ground, you know, from ground zero. And this is talking about, of course, things that need to be destroyed and things that need to be created. That's going to be created, right? And this is talking about just being, okay, so basically when this thing happens, this card is telling you, get into your creativity, get into your, you know, tap into your youthful creativity, because your answer lies there. Your answer lies in you being creative and getting back, tapping into that child, that youthful part of yourself that was, you know, that is very creative. And if you don't feel creative and you're kind of feeling like, you know, I'm not in the mood, or this is not the time to be creative, that's when you can ask the divine for help. Ask your spirit guides for help. Ask, you know, the universe, the source, the divine for help to get there, you know, to help you get into that state of mind where you can be creative. Because I know when things, you know, seem to crash and come down, it's hard at first, but then once you take a step back and go, okay, this just happened, and you know, what do I do next? What's my next strategy? You know, this is where being creative really comes in. Like you can create your way almost just about into anything and out of anything, because you're Aries. So, okay, so moving on to the Four of Swords. We have the Moon card, clarifying the Four of Swords. So remember, the Four of Swords is rest, you know, making sure you're taking care of your body and your mind. And then we have the Moon card, and we have the Nine of Cups. So this is very interesting. It's taking a very interesting turn here. So with that, the Moon card. So let's see, with the Moon card, basically this is about you being, you know, using your intuition, you know, being your psychic abilities, you know, this is definitely like a feminine card. Look at that. And this is, oh gosh, Khonshu, the god of the moon, and time. So I'm just gonna read her little insert, okay? Khonshu, the god of the moon and time, was also revered as the god of healing. The moon is balanced and mysterious. Don't be afraid of the dark. Yin energy can draw out your creative spirit. What are we talking about right now? Creative spirit, okay? This is about being creative and creation, being the creative. And so, okay, going back, I'm just getting excited. Okay, where was I? Okay, so it says, don't be afraid of the dark. The yin energy can draw out your creative spirit. Pay special attention to your dreams. It's a good time to do some shadow work. Okay, you guys. Dude, you heard it from the cards. Okay, Spirit is saying do your thing, because you have it. You got this. These might look rough right now, but going into the future, baby, it's, you know, use your creative abilities. The answers are within. So going to Nine of Cups, which in traditional tarot, that's wish fulfillment. Let me just head over, because I'm really loving her stuff here. Oh my gosh, like I'm feeling encouraged. Okay, so here we are. So now this is just wrapping it up for you guys. Look at this. This is beautiful. Okay, so basically rough start, you know, needing to like get rid of some of the things that you're juggling. It looks like, you know, that foundation that you had is coming down, but, you know, using your creative abilities, you're going to build it back up. It's probably going to even be better than what it was before, whatever it may be in your life, because with everybody that has, you know, everyone has a different situation. you know, where in this card's one thing could be about relationship coming down to the, you know, crashing down and coming to an end, you know, and then that need to be, you know, built back up, or just building yourself back up, where it could be first not another person. This could be, you know, related to the family or to work, or, you know, whatever stage of life you're in. This, you know, this relates, you know, the same but in a different way for each person. But at the end of all of this, you have the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups talks about, you know, wish fulfillment and hard work paying off. You know, towards overflowing. Look at these cups. These cups are overflowing, and they're filling up other cups. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? It's basically saying that your wishes are granted. You know, you're going to be, you know, this with your wish being, you know, granted, you're going to feel overwhelmed by a sense of fulfillment. You know, you're going to feel that emotional balance. You know, you're going to let go of, you're going to be able to basically reap what you sown. All that hard work paying off. Just remember, so let's recap. Just remember to really delve into your creative process. Use your intuition, your abilities, you know, really tap into what is, you know, in your root, you know, your root chakra, your sacral chakra, which is the second chakra, you know, checking out your heart and making sure your heart is right, especially on the issue of the Two of Pentacles, this juggling, you know, really, dived into your creativity. I mean, you have two cards here saying to you that, you know, if you dive in, you know, get your rest, you know, relax your body. You know, things might be a little bit hectic right now, but it's going to turn out for the better. Just keep it pushing, you know, build your strength, stand up and do what's right. Because see, if you stand up and do what's right, you know, regardless of what it may be, there is a reward at the end. You know, it might be even hard to stand up and say, you know, what's right, and do what's right. But at the end, you get your wish. You get everything that you've worked for will pay off. You know, don't get silent now. Now isn't the time to fall silent. Do your thing. You know, and you'll have your wish fulfillment. You know, don't doubt yourself. You know, stay from addictions and things of that nature. Don't let things pull you off your God-given path, your divine-given path, your source-given path. Use your strength, and you're gonna get your reward. You know, everything that you worked for so much that your cup is running over and filling up other cups. How about that? Okay, so what I have here is a bowl that I'm adding to, actually, a bowl of quotes and advice and songs and things of that nature. I'm going to pull you I'm going to try to listen for as best as I can now, 2 cards, and we'll see what we get, okay? So let me close my eyes. I'm going to pick this one and this one. Okay, got 2. So you have 3. I always go 2 cards and then 3 falls out. I say 1 card, then 2 falls out. So the first one is a quote card. Okay, so the first one says, it's a quote card. It says, I've learned whenever I decide something with an open heart, I usually make the right decision. And this was by a quote from Maya Angelou. Trying to tell you, decide. Here is here's a song that I pulled for you. It's Baby, I Know I've Been Here Before. Something feels familiar. And this is from the song Ain't Love Strange by Sinaj. The next is another song. Okay, another song. It says, Tell Me You've Had Enough Time. State of Mind. This is called Mercy. It's by Tokyo Myers. So wrapping all of this into you know, your reading, you know, making that decision, whatever you decide, when you decide to stand up, it'll be the right thing, the right moment, the right timing. And this may have been something, you know, with this, I know I've been here before. This could really be that you've been in this situation before, or, you know, this is going to seem really familiar to you, or the situation that you're in is really familiar, but maybe perhaps you don't know what to do, and the cards are still advising to stand up for what's right, and you'll get your reward. And just make sure your state of mind, this really goes with, you know, the four of swords, really making sure that you're, you know, balanced, and that you're taking care of your body and your mind through all of this, so that you can achieve it and feel and get that fulfillment, you know, when you receive your reward. So Aries, love you guys. Mwah. I will see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, like, share, subscribe. Definitely hit the notification button so that you can know whenever I upload a video. And make sure to leave me a comment if this resonates with you. Okay, signing out. Bye-bye. See you.